welcome back to Shepherd's Cove. I just threw an extra video in today just because, it's Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve. Uh, it's just a little reminder. Not everybody's having the best holiday season, however you want to put it. It's sometimes the holidays put people in a bad place in their head. And remember, you can dial 988 just like 911. The only difference is you don't have cops at your door. 988 it's just a way to talk to somebody. If you need somebody to talk to, they'll sit there and talk to you. I've used it a couple of times myself, a few times actually. And it took me from my bad place in my head. Another thing I do is a quick body wash, is what I call it. It's where you go and just think of the top of my head, recognize how the top of my head feels, and then go down my body. How do my eyes feel? Are they moist? Are they dry? How does my ears feel? What do I hear? What do I see? What do I smell? How does my nose feel? I got a runny nose, got a hard booger in there, whatever. Just go down your body. Notice your mouth. How does it taste? Daggone. Tastes like coffee and cat shit. Kidding. But, just go down, check out your shoulders. How does your neck and your shoulders feel? Mine are a little sore. Working in the warehouse, lifting a bunch of fucking heavy shit. A little sore. How's your back and your waist and your tummy feel? And, move on down the way. And, what that does is that brings you to the here and now. That way you ain't thinking about the past. Because that shit'll haunt it. It'll fuck with your mind. And don't want that. Don't be stressing the future. That's tomorrow or the next day or the day after that. It ain't here yet. So don't worry about that. That's where I put it in his hands. However you deem your higher power, let your higher power, sweat the petty shit. That way you ain't doing it. You put it in your higher power's hands and let your higher power guide your will. Makes it a lot easier. That way man, I ain't stressing no more. I ain't stressed for a while. Not for about 213 days, clean and sober. And, that's when I put it in his hands. And things have gotten a lot easier. I can manage me a lot better. I'm not fucking myself up, kicking my own ass. I'm not putting myself in dumb situations. I won't say I'm not putting myself in dumb situations because that would be a lie. I do tend to. My common sense ain't the best. But I've had good intentions, and I'm not self-destructing like I was. I'm not drinking, I'm not getting high. I'm working, I'm staying on point. And it's a whole different world. I couldn't even tell you where I was on Christmas Eve last year. I ain't got the foggiest clue. Sure, I know I was drunk. Absolutely. Hell, I don't even know if I was in jail or not. Couldn't tell you. But just want y'all to know, you're loved. It doesn't matter how fucked up your head is or how ugly you are. You're loved. There's a higher power out there that loves you, and there's lots of people out there that you may not even realize love you. You know, and even if you're just sitting out there in the middle of nowhere with nobody around, you know, you at one point or another, I'm sure, have crossed paths and left something in somebody's heart that may have changed their life, may not, but it was left there. So you are loved. God bless you all, and have a great evening, you know, and if you need to, don't forget you can just dial 988 and talk to somebody, you know, and it may help. If you can, call an old friend, a family member that you've been not wanting to call, or whatever the case may be. I have a hard time with that. Yeah, but just want you to know it could always be worse. It could be sucking dick for beer when you don't drink. That's a bad day. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your night, huh?